So this is Friday the 13th of August, and this is our Minister of Event 010 Open Zoom Room recording. We've just had a phone call. Normally we turn the phones on about 9 o'clock. This one was a little bit early. Not enough material had been consumed for coffee, etc., to warrant the service that is required and expected. So I asked him to give us a few minutes, get some more coffee down my neck, and we're just going to call him back. So this is somebody who has started to commence the steps, sent over the Chinese credit claim form, and so we're just going to go through that.
Hello.
Hi there, hi. So you're now in the open Zoom. Some of the other Minister events will be logging in as well, and
Okay.
the call's recorded. You don't mind, do you?
No, that's fine.
Right. Okay. So, just really getting into the idea of people giving the consent and being asked for it, and knowing what it is that you're giving when you say yes to things, is always very nice, and compared to what we've had up until now. So, going back into the kindness credit claim form that you filled out, like I said to you, it's one of the better ones that we got. One that I opened this morning is completely blank, except it's got the number 1 written next to the veg boxes. So the idea of this, obviously, is so that we can get an idea of what it is that you, as the community around you, are going to be required to stand surety to for. So I'm just opening this again. Got one at 331 gigabytes. Where is that one? It's coming now. It's coming out blank.
Okay.
And I think that's a problem that we've got here with the Proton Mail now, because I just saw it. We just went through that. So let's have a look.
Can we just send it to you again?
Yeah, if you can, send it as a PDF.
Yeah, I've got it a PDF. Is it the kindness credits at Proton Mail, yeah?
That's right, kindness credits Proton Mail.
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's so strange that it's just done that, because we just had it on the screen when we were first speaking to you.
Do you know what I have noticed? Is on when I've opened up the form, you know, you've got that little bank, the sort of note, not bank note, but the note at the bottom, the credit note.
Yeah.
It's not coming up. It's only coming up as like I can only see numbers like 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's no figure, no picture. But I have seen the picture previously on someone else's.
Right. I'm going to take that, copy that, and send it back to you.
Yeah, please.
So that you've got it, and save it as a template then, because as you start to introduce kindness credits first to yourself, and then obviously to other people, this is going to replace it's going to be the money exchange before the point of sale. So kindness credit note template, we'll send that over to you.
Okay.
I'm going to just copy and paste it onto put it in line, so it's actually an image, a JPEG, just to confirm that you've got that.
Okay.
Okay, we've got this now.
Did you just got my email first?
Yeah, and it's come through different again now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going on with this morning. We use this platform Proton because it's supposed to be encrypted, and
let's start on mail.
that's I put it into downloads, and then I opened it from the file there. So let's just see if we've got this now. Okay, let's just go back. There, we've got it here.
Yeah.
So I've got your, no, this is really quite important as well to get across to people who might be listening later, is if you save the kindness credit claim form as kindness credit claim form the month, and with your kindness credit account number, it makes it much easier, because you can imagine how many thousands of people have sent in a kindness credit claim form, filled in example, and so not actually put the kindness credit account number on. So I'm just going to edit that so that we can, it makes it easier for us to be accountable, should we ever need to be. And this is what I was just saying to you before. They froze the holding account for over a week last week, trying to imply that somebody had been groomed by us, and cancel that. And they just said that somebody, we haven't had any evidence of this claim, but somebody had gone into the bank in Hull and tried to take 100,000 slave tokens out. We haven't seen any video or footage or CCTV. There's no claim reference number for that. So the account was frozen. But obviously, because we've got all of these things accountable for, all the transactions, every single transaction is accounted for. And so this is why it makes it much easier. It's so important that we have the kindness credit reference number on there, so that we can say, to anybody who is interested, there you go, that's what this exchange was for, this is where the funds came from, and this is where they went. So that's why we need this information. So,
yeah, that's cool. Okay.
So I've done that one for you. So it's now saved into the system with your KC account. So we're just going to go through this. So you had some questions. So this is a one-to-one. And you are sending over your kindness credit contribution, which is for the 17 litres of olive oil.
Yeah.
What I haven't got on here on this one is the address or the email, so I'm just going to fill that in as well.
The address of which one's that?
Well, it's
delivery address.
Yeah, where we're going to send the things to.
Yeah,
so
please. Yeah, I didn't know what address to put that to, so obviously I put my name, my address, and then obviously my email address.
Yeah, none of that's filled out on here. And what you're actually doing, the first step of what you're doing is you're exchanging into your kindness credit account. Let's say that you've been in contact with some of the other MVNs and you decided that you want to do an exchange for chocolate. You would put the exchange account as being your own account and the account number of the party that you're doing the exchange with. Now, that can be a direct exchange out of the 5 hours. Somebody might have put 5 hours worth of chocolate truffles, for example, into the pot. And you are going to make a claim because you've done your 5 hours as people protection patrol, or you've been out and growing organic food, or and so then that would be a direct kindness credit energy exchange. There's no slave tokens involved in that. Once those 5 hours have been done, let's say the guy who makes the truffles, he's able to supply his truffles then not just to everybody inside our community, but to what would normally be the general public as kindness credits, so that he can then obviously gets more customers because his product's cheaper, because all of the overheads that he had to put on the cost of his amazing chocolate now is gone. So instead of his chocolate having to be, let's say, £10 of slavery for a box, and then now it's only 5 or even cheaper, because the this is extending your kindness credit account forward to people. You're saying, look, I've discharged all of my liabilities, so I don't need to pass those liabilities on to you. I've severed my shackles, and now I'm severing yours. The people that we do these exchanges with, who don't know anything about kindness credits, obviously they've just got slave tokens, so it means that you're actually helping them as well, whether they know it or not, because they've just been able to obtain your product or service 50% cheaper because you cut out the parasite by using kindness credits. So
cool.
Okay, so
I suppose the taxes and everything they've got to come on top of that. That all gets pushed to one side because there's no, you're just doing that out of the goodness of your will, really, aren't you?
Well, the transaction actually makes it private. So let's say I want to order £10. What was normally £10? So I go on the website. I don't know anything about kindness credits. I go on his website, or I contact him and I say, "Hiya, I'd like to buy these chocolates," and he says, "Right, if you pay me with slave tokens, it's £10 of slavery. If you convert your money, first of all, through the kindness credit account, by having a kindness credit account, you as well, you will only have to give me 50% of that amount of slavery instead." So you're giving the customer a choice. You can continue paying by slave tokens if you want. And what actually happens if they do that and they're not interested, the 50% is actually given back to them as a tax rebate, as a kindness credit tax rebate. Okay,
cool. That's good.
So and everything obviously is done with a receipt, and the kindness credit claim form covers what would normally be an order form. So it means that everybody's keeping their energy. The customer then can, if he's already set his budget at £10, and he's like, well, no, I want £10 worth of chocolate. That's what my budget is. He's now got he's got twice the amount of chocolate, hasn't he?
Right.
So he's very happy, obviously, and that creates more people coming to that particular outlet or business because he's getting 50% more for his money.
More. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
really, for his energy. So it's all about saving our energy from being invested into capitalistic terrorism, if there's a word. So
that's brilliant.
So we've got so we're working through what it is that we've got on the actual claim form itself. So we've worked out just in utilities and charges, credit charges, worked out at £251.25 a month. So the 10% that you put in is obviously 25 slave tokens, and that's on a month-to-month basis to keep the surety services. So it's a tithe. It's what we used to do before we were compulsory taxed. And so it's you're saying, right, okay, I've saved 250 quid is 25 to support the community with, like we said, maybe towards a GoPro or a phone, things that we can't provide at the moment as a community.
For the community, you've got to go and use slave tokens to buy something in.
Yeah, so it means that really it's coming from your savings. So it's coming. I'm saving 100% of whatever I've put in that column there.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this is where we're releasing the energy from the slavery system, and if you look at all of those overheads there, and the other ones, obviously we've got the MasterCard and account numbers and things like that. It's not so much at that point there the money, because you might not have been able to pay these false claimants any amount of money because of the slavery that we've all been involved in. But it's the mind. They're actually harvesting your energy through sending you documents saying, we're going to come and take your goods away, or we're going to come and steal your house. And it's actually, that's what we're more interested in, is preserving and reserving your rights from being trespassed on. So that you're not in a state of, I can't think of anything else. It's the occupation of your mind.
Yeah, you start getting. That's what happened to me for a little while back, and it's so overpowering, and you get sort of, you don't know where to turn, don't know where to go, and it's quite, you get in a bit of a state, and that's what happened to me when I was in a state of depression, and then on top of all these bills coming in, I just thought I didn't know what to do, and then I just realised I'm switching off from this, and with that, then I was able to, I managed to get out of it, and I think that's what broke me through through this whole system. I was able just to get about it and switch off from it, and it's just great that now I've seen there is a way of sort of clearing it and getting moving on and start doing it and like being part of a community. But yeah, I could see how it can definitely cause people to think really negative things about themselves while they're in a lot of debt and stuff. When it starts getting around you.
That's the real debt. That's the real charge against your creative potential. And the fact that you are a Vatican debt slave, you are. It's very disempowering, and this, so little by little, as you so first of all, okay, it's 250 quid, but it's not just that. You've stopped them laundering your account, your credit file in the back end of 250,000.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying in that 1% that creates the fiat currency banking mechanisms laundry service of 10 to the power of 10. So it's when people start to really comprehend what it is that's going on here, the amount of, first of all, energy that you're now not investing in that pot. Just one tiny 1% of that energy really is all that is required to support 99% of your life. And we can see that anyway, because we're putting in 99% of our energy to support 1% of the community or 1% of your life. You're just getting off that perpetual slave wheel. And then because you've got 225 quid a month just from what it was that you were paying out in utilities, you can then turn around and say, look, I don't want just one medium veg box and a small fruit box for myself. I'm going to go to the people in my street and say, look, I did these things on this website. I discharged all of my liabilities, and I was able to come and bring you and you and you and you a veg box, an organic veg box. Now, obviously, that helps the people who are supplying and growing the vegetables, because we've just supported them then with the money that you've kept out of the slavery system. You haven't gone to Tesco's with it. You've consciously directed it and credited people who are creating organic food instead of whatever else GMO crap.
Funny, I went by just down the road where I live. He's like he looks after this sort of like a little yard, offices and shops and stuff in there. There's a few little different businesses, and there's a couple of girls. They've got an old milk float which they do delivery of vegetables and stuff. So it'd be always something like that. What you're talking about. If I found someone that's growing it, I can tap into them, and they've got a nice community around here where they just drive around in this little milk float delivering fruit and vegetables to everyone about locally.
Well, how lovely it would be to be able to go to them and go to them and say, right, okay, I discharged all of my liabilities and I want to invest in your company. Is what really now you're brokering open your credit file and you're the investor, and you're really then putting your credit where it's not doing any harm, and it's actually helping people in the community. It's helping the business. It's helping those girls to support themselves, and it's also introducing kindness credits directly into your community, because they're suddenly like, well, hang on a minute. I was bringing you one veg box a week. How come you now want 5? Well, I want 5 because I'm getting the veg for the other people that I've gone to speak to in the street about it. I discharged all of their liabilities as well by showing them the website. So now they're in a position to be able to come to you for the veg as well. And in fact, you only need to stand surety once to somebody. So that you just go and say, right, okay, I'll show you how it works. I'm going to use some of the money that I've saved and I'm going to buy you a veg box.
Yeah.
And so then obviously they're like, well, why would you do that? And you know, so because this is kindness credits, and this is me doing what it is that I said that I would do for my 5 hours, which is to introduce it very simply to people. People have not done their 5 hours because they think I need to spend 2 years learning all of this so that I can go as Minister Ven to the door. No, you don't. You can go as you learning whatever it is that you just learned. That I discharged. I went on the website, filled in my information, discharged all my liabilities, got all of that energy back, released my mind from the slavery system so that I can come here and stand you with my hands and my mind clean, offering you a veg box. Because now I've got the ability, I've got the space, I've got the freedom for me to be able to express my real care for you. And that's what stopped us. You know, that's why we ended up with a society where we could just walk past these people in the street who had nothing, because we were so occupied in the mind with our own shit and our own liabilities that we, through our own fear of loss, we allowed loss to be the commodity in our community.
No. So you know, I haven't done it recently, but when I wasn't working, I was helping out with a company, a street kitchen. They're based in London. They do lots of homeless people and stuff, but they get all this stuff. The guys get called on, you know, everything he gets, all food's all been donated from, you know, from offices or companies or stuff like that. You know, whatever they've got, nothing. They don't even never really buys anything. It's all sort of donated. So it's a sort of similar sort of thing, and all obviously he's. I think he was last time I was doing. He did about 1,000 meals a week for the homeless.
Let's go and help him. Is he still doing it?
Yeah.
Let's go. That's a great exchange. Let's go and help him discharge his overheads. Go and get the girls that you just talked about. Go and see the organic farmers. And say, look, we've got all of these people in this area who want to come and do 5 hours a week growing food. So the farmers are like, they're up to their eyes in all sorts of contracts with the government, being paid.
I'm seeing as well, they're really struggling now with people to go and work on the farms, aren't they? With all this Brexit, there's hardly any workers there that I was reading.
Yeah, so they've got these contracts with the government where they're actually being paid not to farm their land so that it can then be.
Yeah, I've seen that. They're getting grants, didn't they? Or things that stop growing. But obviously, I think now they want to go in with all this imported stuff instead, didn't they? So they want farmers to sort of give up.
Yeah, because they want to control the food supply completely. And that's, you know, there's just 3 things to this. The whole slavery system stood on 3 things, which is the tripod of change for us, which is GMO food, petrochemicals, and pharmaceuticals. All we've got to do is not credit those 3 things, and that system doesn't exist because that's what it stands on. So by building this structure, which is only investing in our energy into organic food and natural remedies and free energy, and that's just done by restoring your rights. What is it that you're doing when you're restoring your rights? First of all, I've got to restore the rights of the right mind, and this is how it's done, because people's, like I said, when the mind's fully occupied with, I've got to go here and I've got to be there, I've got to do my slavery, I've got to get my money, I've got to pay my bills and get up again and do it all again the next day and the next day. That's not what we came here to do, as you know. And that's what causes the conflict, the internal conflict, so that we end up depressed because our heart says, this isn't what you came here to do. And the head's like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. So
like the rat race, but they caught up in the old rat race.
Right, okay. So next one that we've got here is just a second, I've got some really noisy things going on in the background. Okay, so what are you offering in exchange? We've got cleaning, organising of house, office, wardrobe.
No, I've got 17 litres of oil, and then I've done 5 hours of work, help with moving, delivery, any manual work,
I'm just, hang on, I'll give us a chance. I'm typing it in. So you've done 17 litres of exchange. That's actually, that's for your one-to-one. So
okay,
your energy swap is
5 hours energy swap.
What you're doing for your energy swap?
I said I'd help with any moving or delivery, any manual work.
Have you got a van?
No.
Okay.
But I can always, if I had to, go and rent one for a couple of hours if someone needed one.
So like removal services?
I can help out with removal stuff like that if people need any help.
Okay, so we've got 5 hours removal services. The where and when?
I'm in North London.
North London area. And when are you available to do that?
Weekends mostly.
Weekends, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. That's all we need. So delete that one.
So I hold drumming circles that people can come along to.
Oh, drumming, yeah, that's drumming circles.
Yeah, I do like. So it's like I do breath work. We do breath work at the beginning. We do like an hour of like African drumming, and then we do like some singing and dancing, and then we do finish off some meditation. So I do that every Tuesday over in Belsize Park, just to help people like if they're sort of their mental health, mind, body, and soul.
So your breath work, and where did you say that was? Because that is
in Belsize Park.
Belsize Park.
It's in North London near Hampstead.
Have you got a postcode?
I have, yes. A second.
And then what I'm going to do, we're just at the moment we're just putting that straight into the Facebook group. So I'm going to put 5 hours meditation. 5 hours wellbeing workshop.
So the postcode is NW3.
NW3.
NW3. 4QP.
4QP. Belsize Park.
Yeah.
At what time are you there?
That's from 7:30 to 9:30 every Tuesday.
7 in the morning?
No, in the evening.
7:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m.
9:30. Yeah.
Where's contact? I'm going to put the Kindness Credit email address on there so that they can come through there, and so that we know that obviously we don't want a bunch of crazies turning up at your nice.
Yeah.
So you've got wellbeing workshops with drumming circles,
breath work and meditation.
Breath work. And do you have a lot of people come?
At the minute, so I've only so far probably about 6 or 7 people so far coming, but it's in an arts college. So the arts college is closed at the minute, but when that opens up, there's a lot of people in, like the teachers and the students that be up for coming as well. So at the minute, it's just like I'm slowly just been building this up. But yeah, it's getting there. Like the last Tuesday just gone in, it's each week it's getting better and better. So I've got a friend of mine who is like a Kundalini teacher. So she teaches the breath work and meditation. And I've got a guy from Senegal who's a traditional African drummer, and he teaches the drumming. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of good feedback on it. So it's just a little idea that I've had. I've bought all the drums, I've got all the drums in there, so everything's all laid out. So but yeah, it's a sort of little, it's working. People are enjoying it. So yeah,
awesome. I've actually.
I also do. Obviously, I was just talking about to you earlier that I do Cambo as well, which is like I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but it's a detox program with Cambo, which is a frog from the Amazon forest. So it's spelled Kambo.
Do you lick them or do you eat them?
No, you don't lick them. Really, no, you burn yourself burn the arm with like an incense stick, and then you get the secretion of a bamboo stick, and you apply it to the burn, and it seeps into the system.
Okay, and it works. Are you saying it's Kambo, Kambo detox?
Yeah, so that's the detox. Yeah, so it's in the Amazon. It's there. their sort of to do this. It's probably their vaccine, if you want to say it in that way. You know, that's their way.
Amazonian natural remedies. I really love this. Have you got any material about this that you can send me? And
yeah,
we can put this up on the BAM website. Yeah. Amazonian natural remedies. For what kind of symptoms does it restore?
Oh, for me, it helps with depression. It helps with funny enough, I'm part of an EMF group on Facebook, and some guy posted from Barcelona like a couple of months ago said that since he had EMF symptoms, and then since he done Cambo, it's cleared it up, and it's cleared up my symptoms as well. I had it really bad after I got this affected. I was speaking about earlier about the trackers in my car trackers. It really messed up my system. When I done the Cambo, it reset everything. So it reset the whole immune system. So I'm back into purpose. But yeah, it helps with like low immune and even like sort of a penema, which is like bad spirits and bad luck. But when I was going for when I started getting introduced to this, I wasn't working. I was getting no money, and then after sort of 6 sessions, my whole life changed. Like all my bad luck, everything, all this down and out I felt, and the depression all went. I started working again, and since then my jobs were getting better and better. So it helps with a lot of physical energy and spiritual energy as well, negative spiritual energy. Okay. So, but it's amazing. It's an amazing.
Send me some information over, and if you've got a photo of the product or something like that, then we could put it up on the BAM website. You'll be given sorry, I've got a cough. You'll be given login details for the BAM site, the Big Blue Asset Management Rock site. No, not yet. We're just finalising the structure of that, and all of it's to replace the Companies House, DVLA, land registry, any kind of data holding site. Then, as the asset is all assigned by you, each individual does this themselves. And this is the pinnacle point, really, of an electronic version of an exemplification that what was once presumed to be Bonaventure unclaimed estate, i.e. you, each individual, and your potential creation and your asset and your rights is now held elsewhere by you, and you've got complete control of it. It's your account. And it universally rebuts the presumption that anybody can come and trespass upon you by implied contracts or forced obligation.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's good. So I've just put on the website there. On the Facebook group. The 5 hours of wellbeing workshops, drumming circles, breath work, meditation, COVID clean, the address and the time, and your Cambo detox, Amazonian natural remedies for MS, depression symptoms, energy cleansing, and then just the Kindness Credits email address, so that they can then say, right, okay, well, we're interested in doing some exchanges with that. That Kindness Credit account. So, and then obviously you get the contact details of those people, and off you go. It's down to you guys. It's direct exchanges. In the
Sorry, you see, like for now, I don't know if it's a thing now. Like now, I have got obviously my gas, electricity bill. When I went into this, before I even knew, like James introduced me to you guys and stuff, but like when I knew that I had this thing, so I don't vote, and I stopped doing my council tax, and that went on for about 3 years. So only recently they tried to bring me to court, and I've made this little agreement with them. But obviously, I want to get this out. I want to get away from them, because obviously I just sort of, so with all my debts that I've got there, with my, like I've got a debt with an old debt for an old loan and stuff like that. All them debts, all the things when I ran, put them together, and they come into the Kindness Credit, and I exchange. So I do put them into slave tokens. Yeah. So now I've got them slave tokens there that I need to work off. Right? Is that right? How it works?
So run that by me. Debt is fiction. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You're not. Okay. You're what you're doing is you're saying, right, okay, my belief in my belief, up until now, I believed that I had to pay 250 quid a month to these terrorists who were actually trespassing on my share of the electricity, gas, and water.
Yeah, okay, on with that. Okay.
So what the kindness credit account does is discharge those charges against your equitable rights. So what you've done is you've assigned your gas, water, electricity shares, the commodities that are on the FTSE 100 index, back into your own trust.
Okay.
And so let's take the council. The council, for example, are only claiming that they are giving you these so-called services, such as refuse removal, schools, roads, policing, healthcare. They're not actually giving you any of those that we would consider being a service. If you went to a shop and you said, right, I'd like to buy that package there, please, which is the council's definition of public services, and you open the package and you out jumps police officers that aren't trained in legal or lawful jurisdiction. This product would penalise you and capitalise on your rights for profit. You'd shut the bloody box and take it back to the shop, and you'd say, "I want my money back," wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So because they became a corporation, and they're registered at Dun and Bradstreet, they can no longer pretend that they are there by your consent. They are there by implied consent that we give by going onto their website or calling them and saying, "Hello, I'm the Vatican debt slave and I've just moved in at this address. Can you please launder my account? And I'm going to pay you 1%, £1,200 a year, which is 1% for you to actually, I'm paying you the administrative fee to open my credit file and take out 120,000 a year." Can you imagine what kind of environment our communities would be if that money actually came down into the community of 120 grand a year and didn't go off into some fat cat's profit in their shareholders' dividends? And the reason why they can do that is because you're using legal fiction and implying that I'm dead lost at sea. I don't exist. I've just granted and assigned my consent to be a corporation, a dead thing walking and talking, and therefore I haven't got any rights. So do with it whatever it is that you want to do with it. Is really what you're saying, and that's why Boris and his buddies are all laughing, standing there saying, "We're doing this by your consent. You're ruled by consent." So hang on a minute. Show me the assignment. Show me the assignment of consent then. They haven't got one. The assignment of consent is done through you using a birth certificate and then going and using that legal fiction that clearly states not to be used for ID on the bottom of it to go and create more fraud with. So I'm going to do this now with you.
Okay, mate.
Can you tell me what council it is that is sending you threats?
Islington.
Islington.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're doing here, you're not actually on the Zoom, so I can't share the screen with you on the phone. So I'm going into council tax Islington, moving in. And really, guys, this is so simple. You can even call them up and say, "Hello, I'm Minister Emma Van, and I've just moved in at this address. Can you please update your records?" That's it. That's all you do. For the utilities, you go on to, you call the current supplier and say, "Hello, I'm Minister Emma Van. I've just moved in as a liability holder at this address. Please update your records." It's
liability.
Pardon?
The sign front of that liability holder. Okay.
Yeah, and so you can actually see on some of this, and people say, "Well, we're on benefits and I'll lose my benefit." You won't. You can call the council and say, "Look, am I obliged, if I can't afford my council tax, can somebody else stand surety to me? Can it go into somebody else's name and I can still get my benefits?" Yes, it can. Because anybody under mercantile law, if you read it, Section 5, anybody who is liable for any charges or debt has a right to appoint or have appointed a trustee to stand surety to them, and all accounts are to be passed to that party. That's what the government did. They said, we will stand surety to all of your liabilities in this corporate system and discharge the charges accordingly, and we get all of the accounts. And they didn't, obviously, that's the fraud. They didn't, that's their failure to perform. So they didn't do what it was that they were supposed to do, even under their own legislation and definition of mercantile law. They were supposed to be discharging everybody's charges and allowing a commercial system to be in operation by capitalising on your rights of this rock, planet Earth.
Yeah.
So you took your rock back. I say you're not doing that with my bit of rock.
Yeah.
That's my right of use. You're not saying it's mine. You're saying it's my right of use of that rock, and I'm stopping giving it to you because I've seen what it is that you're doing to it, and it's terrorism. You're raping it, and you're causing harm, loss, and damage, which means that the legal system is unlawful because it does that. Yeah. So here on the, I don't know if you're looking, you want to go and click into the website yourself. I'm in islington.gov.uk, moving into Islington. So I'm in Stremervan, moving into the area. So I'm clicking, moving into Islington. Excuse me. And you've got the options: moving within, moving into, moving out, moving in. They want.
You're telling us you're moving, yeah? Is that one, huh?
Well, the legal fiction is. Minister, you're now Minister Stremervan, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so the legal fiction has just expired at that address.
Okay.
The use of the legal fiction, there is nobody claiming that legal fiction at this address.
Yeah.
And the minute that you do that, something called the quiet title process is really what's going on. Your Minister Stremervan cannot be used in litigation because Minister Stremervan is our legal fiction. It's not a copyrighted legal fiction that belongs to Crown Corporation. It was created by Universal Law Community Trust to give to everybody with the right of use, to use it right, to stop committing fraud upon your soul by using something that you didn't have the right of use of, because you haven't got the right of use of their legal fiction, but you do have the right of use of Minister Stremervan. Now, Islington, some of them you get that, titles, you don't need to put a title, but they've got an asterisk next to it here. They haven't got minister, obviously, because a minister has plenipotentiary rights, which is the same as a diplomat in their definition. Now, however, MRS, that can be an abbreviation for minister, can't it? It's got all the same letters in it. MS, that can be minister. Mr, MR, that can be minister. We've got doctor, or we've got miss. So what we're going to put is MR, and we're going to put first name, minister, last name, Stremervan. The address that you're moving from, and so we're going to put this is the exemplification of the presumption that we are operating in. So how can they presume that I haven't moved in from another country?
Okay.
They're presuming that I've moved in from another address. Enter the address where you're moving from. So we have got an address, and it is 125 Home Street. And the postcode is HX78AA. And there we go. Enter the address of where you're moving into. So do you want to give me the postcode?
Yes, NW5.
NW5.
1HN.
1HN. Now, I'll edit that out, obviously, of this recording, because that information's not going out. What number is it?
It's 34D. Delta 34D.
Oh, it's not come 34D. Yeah, got you there. D for Delta. And now it's asking, select this option if you are the owner, tenant, neither. We're neither.
I'm a tenant, yeah.
Yeah, but here it says you cannot continue with this form unless you will be responsible for paying council tax of this property. And so they're presuming that you have to be the owner or the tenant. So we're going to click tenant because you're going to have a new tenancy agreement where your right of use has been assigned because it's actually you're in social housing, whether it's through a trust or not, and the properties that have been used for social housing, the resources that were used to create those houses with were yours.
Okay, yeah, I'm with it.
And everybody else's as well. So please enter a postcode. It wants it all together, but it actually found it, which is quite funny. So now it's saying that the postcode that we've given them, even though it's come up with the address, it's now saying that the postcode is not valid. So let's take that. Okay, so we're going to give them a call. All right?
Okay. Because
their website, like them, has failed to perform. So telephone number for council tax, Islington. And I'm going to tell them as well, obviously, that the information I actually do this while you're on the phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link for this Zoom. Have you got Zoom on your phone?
Yeah, not on the phone, no, only on the computer.
And are you able to open the computer to Zoom if I
send Yeah.
Right. So we'll knock this call off. I'm gonna send you this this Zoom link.
Yeah.
You can come in on there, and it's better as well, then because you'll be able to see the screen.
Okay.
And if you just set your settings to Minister Emma Venn, so when it doesn't show your name, Emma Venn, 1878. Okay. When you come in the Zoom room, because it'll be on record. All right, and I'm going to record this call once you come in the Zoom. On here, I think they've done that sort of say, you do not know the postcode, you can search for it. We've got it here. It's already shown us that it's valid because it's brought up the address. Then it's saying here that when we get down to the bottom, it's not valid. Yes, it's still brought up the address. So we want to know, obviously, what the bloody hell it is that you think that you're doing as far as as far as offering this as a service goes. So I'm just going to do it again, moving in. Minister, short for minister. And obviously these words now, the punching in these letters that form the word Minister and Van is red alert, and the address of where you're moving from. And the address that you're moving from is 125 The Suites, HX78AA. File, copy, edit. We're going to call these people so that you can hear what it is that's waiting for you outside the cave, guys. So just wait for the minister to come in the Zoom room. Here he is. Hi there. If you turned your camera off because it's non-disclosure.
Okay. Where am I done? 1 sec.
Andy, just put yourself on mute.
Okay.
I went back in while I was waiting for you, and it reset the form. So we're just going to cut to the chase, give them a call and explain the situation. What's the postcode again? What's the postcode?
Welcome to Islington Council. It is quicker and easier to report street problems such as dumped rubbish, overflowing bins.
What's your postcode? Emma Van. Hello?
Oh, sorry. It's
You need
NW.
to take yourself off mute. This part of the video is under non-disclosure. We're inputting the postcode into the relevant boxes. What's noticeable, obviously, is that anybody can stand surety to anybody else for the liability of anything. You can just read Mercantile Law Amendment 5 for clarification on that. And obviously we don't want to disclose the information as to which properties it is that have assigned their consent to rebut. Obviously we don't want them to continue to presume that the legal fiction is still there.
A month ago, they tried to bring me to court, and then I left it, and I just made an agreement with them, and then that was probably about 3-4 weeks ago.
Right, so you made an agreement with them 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. What's the date?
The date was the 6th of July.
So on the 6th of July you made, so Minister Emma moved in on the 7th of July.
7th of July, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, but when you say you made an agreement with them, what does that entail?
Well, they said that I need to pay direct debits with them and stuff like that. So, because obviously they tried to bring me to court, and I didn't want to go to court. So then they said, listen, we're making an arrangement that you could pay £100 and something a month to pay off the bill.
And how much is the bill?
£3,832 and 10p.
3,000.
£832 and 10p.
Okay, well, we'll get that sorted out for you now.
Okay.
What happens here is you're severing the presumption that that legal fiction's at that address. Your assignment, this is why we can't backdate an assignment. Everything, the reason why this works is because we don't commit fraud. Everything that we say is true. So we don't backdate any assignment because that's not true. You didn't assign your consent up until the day that you did it. So, however, on the document there, you actually did this assignment by email quite a while ago, looking at this, but you just didn't complete the paperwork until now, have you?
That's right, yeah.
Right, okay, so I'm going to give him a call. Telephone number. There we go. And let's give him a ring.
Welcome to Islington Council. It is quicker and easier to report street problems such as dumped rubbish, overflowing bins, and dog fouling using our Clean Islington app. Download it for free from all main app stores. Incoming and outgoing calls may be recorded for quality, training, and evidence purposes. In order to resolve the inquiry, information you provide may be shared with the relevant team or other council departments. Call recordings are retained for 1 year. For further information on how we handle recorded calls, go to our website at www.islington.gov.uk. For payment, including parking, press 1. For council tax and housing benefit inquiries, press 2. For housing, press 3. For waste and recycling and furniture reuse, press 4. To speak to a customer service officer, please hold.
We're not talking about council tax benefit because there's no benefit in paying council tax to these criminals.
Okay.
Just put yourself on mute.
Want to know the easiest way to manage your council tax accounts online? We have the answer. My e-account. This online e-account lets you do everything from paying your council tax and parking, requesting a new recycling box, and even reporting dog fouling and other issues on your street. Not registered yet? It's simple. Just visit www.islington.gov.uk/my e-account.
I think we might have to call back and press number 2 because the customer service is non-existent.
It's slow, isn't it?
Hold back, and I'm going to actually. We have this problem where our numbers are blacklisted, so I'm going to withhold the number. So, caller ID disabled. Let's give them a try now. Tell we are now.
Welcome to Islington Council.
Let's press
It
2.
is quicker and easier.
Want to know the easiest way to manage your council tax accounts online? We have the answer. My e-account. This online e-account lets you do everything from paying your council tax and parking, requesting a new recycling box, and even reporting dog fouling and other issues on your street. Not registered yet? It's simple. Just visit www.islington.gov.uk/my e-account.
You see, it's come up there. Look.
Contact Islington is experiencing an unusually high number of calls. We apologise for the delay and thank you for...
Right, we're going to actually do this. It's gone through now. So look, we're back in there. We accepted it that time. We went in this property is furnished. The reason why they ask you this, I don't know if people know, if you've got any charges that these debtors, really, they're your debtors, they've been trespassing on your rights, and they're saying that they're the creditor, that you might then be implied to owe the debt to because you're using legal fiction. If you put there that the property was unfurnished and you're a tenant, they could do a removal of goods on your furniture by presumption.
Wow.
So what you're doing here is you're ticking furnished. Okay, because it's furnished by the landlord. Then you're the tenant.
Yeah.
So they can't take any goods then
Oh,
for charges. When does your tenancy start? It
did you
starts.
say
No. Think what we're doing. Minister of Events now the new tenancy. Now the liability holder at their address. If they obviously it's not the tenant, they haven't given us an option. They'll come back to us when we put the email at the trust email account in and say that obviously we've got you down. Can you send us a copy of the tenancy agreement? The answer to that is no. Why did you click yourself as tenant? Because you didn't give me an option for liability holder. Now, if you go on Leeds City Council and click and put an address in that you're moving into and click the option to drop down in the box, and there is liability holder there.
Okay.
Some councils actually disclose this to you. I'm going to show you in a minute. Some don't, but you know, it's crooked, absolute crooked. It's criminal what they're doing because they're not disclosing the facts that obviously somebody else can stand surety to you anyway without you doing any of the trust structure or using Minister of Event. Your sister could be the liability holder for the council tax at your address. Most people want their details at the address because they think that they, you know, need my credit rating. We only need your credit rating when you want to use a credit file, when you want to create more slavery. So your household, nobody living with you, aged 18. Then it asks you, look, can we launder your credit file for if you're asking now for us to give you a discount? No, we don't. Thank you very much, because there is single person discount isn't applicable when the account is zeroed. And this is what you're doing. You're stopping them laundering that credit file at that address. Do you know the name of the landlord or the agent for the address that you're moving into? Landlord or agent? No. Okay, we'll tick agent. If known, don't know. We're going to put. Now, Porito.
Okay, yeah.
For people who don't know, aporito means non-disclosure in Greek. Their contact details, porito@protonmail.com, and the telephone number. We'll be more than happy to disclose the telephone number, 5224 50965 65 522 420. Have you lived in Islington before? No. The reason why they're asking that is because they want to know, can they join or any charges that you might have outstanding. Enter your email. So now your email is trust@universallawcommunitytrust.com, and any other correspondence that comes on any other email, just forward that correspondence to this email address.
Okay.
That's an assignment of consent. Please enter a trust@universallawcommunitytrust.com. It doesn't like that, does it? Do not like our secured party email, trust@universallawcommunitytrust.com. No, we wouldn't like to set up direct debit. We want paper billing so that you can actually exemplify the fraud, because what a lot of people don't comprehend is by us becoming a secured party creditor to Her Majesty's government, it includes all legal fiction. So it includes Islington Council as an agency, as a legal fiction company recorded in Dun & Bradstreet. It's Dun & Bradstreet's register that's been secured. It's every legal fiction that was ever created by the birth certificate process. And so people like yourself now, what you're doing is you're actually acting as the official receiver of your own debt that you created by crediting this system. You're saying, right, I see what it is that I was doing. I acknowledge the responsibility that I played in this, supporting terrorism. I've accepted the liabilities back to discharge myself because I can't trust a corporation. So
Yeah.
I have to do it myself. So what do I need in order for me to be able to do that? I need to have assigned my equitable shares back to myself. That means that this corporation hasn't got anything to use as collateral anyway. And I'm taking the responsibility of discharging my own debt that I created up until this point. Now I'm settling the ledger book like the official receiver would when it takes a bankrupted company and uses the assets to discharge the charges against secured party creditors' claims. And so here we are, Big Blue Asset Management acts as the official receiver for you, but it's actually you doing it. So you become the settler at this point. And over here on this column, we've got 10 quadrillion worth of slave tokens worth of debt that's been racked up over a period of time by these companies trespassing on everybody's rights until now. And that is your discharge pot. So you're going to offset any charges against that pot. So HM government get a receipt to say hello to your new secured party creditor who has used this right of use of this property, for example, which has got a market value of 250,000, to discharge 250,000 worth of slave tokens off the 10 quadrillion. Here's the receipt, and there's your bill of exchange.
Wow, okay.
That's a settlement.
Cool. Amazing.
That's
so
what.
Then what happens with the money the debt that I owe them?
The debt that you owe them, the debt that you owe them, it's not your debt, is it? That legal fiction doesn't belong to you.
Yeah. So then that if they come, will they send a letter for me? They won't send a letter to this address
They
anymore.
will try. It's called phishing. It's called phishing. They send the documents. They'll send 3 usually. First of all, what you're going to get is a bill in the name of Minister Amaven now.
Okay.
Now at that point there, obviously, there's I have to, for me to come up your drive, I have to do a risk assessment. I have to know that the chances are that I'm going to get that liability, somebody holding the liability for the claim that I'm making against you at that address. Now on their records now, immediately, that they have to do that, a risk assessment, in order for them to underwrite any action before they can even send out an agent.
Yeah.
And even really before they can send out a letter. So what they're going to do is they're going to send out a computer-generated letter to that address with that legal fiction on, hoping that somebody's going to respond to it. Because it doesn't matter who picks that up. I can pick that up and say that's me.
Yeah.
Anybody can, because nobody's got a right of use of that legal fiction, and you can ask them if it ever comes to it. In the let's say they're trying to arrest you and put you in the court. It's just one very simple question. When they say, "Well, why won't you use the name?" Well, have I got a right of use of that legal fiction?
Okay.
Give me the right of use of it, or give me the assignment of consent that I've given to you to say that I consent to use it. And the whole point of this, it's just one tiny thing, is the false claim. If I don't lay a claim to something that isn't mine, the administrative system that is set up to persecute people and prosecute people for breaking universal law by adding to it cannot initiate.
All right.
So now we've got a reference number there. Do you want to write that number down?
Yeah, please. 1 second.
Actually, I'll copy and paste it and send it over to you in an email.
Okay, thanks.
Where's my key? Let's look. There we go. So that is for your records. You can.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay. And then what we're going to do, you need to get a short hold tenancy agreement. So you're now Minister on the Ven at that address.
All right, cool. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now all you need to do is the same process for your gas, your water, your electricity, and council. You've done the council tax. And so what you can do is you can go onto USwitch if you want.
USwitch, yeah.
USwitch, it's a website that allows you to compare and switch the utilities. Now, what people need to understand again or comprehend is that we only want essential energy. So, what's your postcode again? MW5
1HM.
10.
Yeah.
Prepare and save. Oops,
Space there.
I got a new keyboard and it's select your address. Do you use gas?
Yeah.
Are you on a dual tariff?
Yeah.
Which supplier are you?
British Gas.
Already preempted it. So, how do you pay for your energy?
It's, what is it? What have I got it on? I'm just paying it. I
Direct
pay on.
debit?
It's a month. I think it's on a monthly one. I know quarterly one. I've been getting. I think quarterly one. Yeah.
What's your plan then?
I don't know what plan I'm on. Standard one, I think. Yeah.
Do you know how much you use or spend on your energy? Yeah.
I think it's about sort of how much is it working? It's probably about £600-700 a month, a year. So
So how much a month a year on your gas?
probably about 40 quid each a month.
Right. So, and this is really helpful, obviously, because if people have filled out their kindness credit claim forms, we can actually do this for you. Book yourself a one-to-one, come on the phone and go through it. You're the witness for it, that it's all been done. And it was Minister O'Mahony that did it, wasn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so trust. Then all the bills come to this address, which is secured party creditor of the whole shebang. Keep you up to date. No, not interested in that. Your rates are likely to rise. Of course they are. So what you're looking for here is choose plan. So choose plan. So no, sorry, we want to see the plan first. What we're looking for is paper billing. Why do we want it in paper billing? Because what we're doing is actually accumulating the evidence that these corporations have breached their own commercial code, UCC 9609-610, the Civil Code Procedure as well in England and Wales. Consumer Credit Act has been destroyed just by them continuing to imply that they can trade while they are secured. So that sets an example, sets a standard that for every other individual in the country who has been declared bankrupt and cannot trade, now we're smashing the official receivers in the Insolvency Act, because what they're saying is that you can't trade if you've lost your credit rating, you've been made bankrupt or you've been secured. They've lost their credit rating. That's why we ended up with COVID, because they couldn't trade anymore on the stock exchange. So they brought in the COVID part so that they could launder the belief of the people through the narrative via the government, that the government still existed, underwritten then by Bill Gates, because there wasn't any equity left for them to launder and there wasn't a right of use of any legal fictions, because all of that had been secured. So that gives us then the ability to be able to, if it comes to a court proceeding, well, okay, would you like to set the precedence that none of that Insolvency Act really has any standing or jurisdiction, because here you are trading and attempting to trade as British Gas, for example, while you're bankrupt, while you're secured.
Okay.
So let's have a look what we're looking for here. All of these people, all of these companies are trading on your rights. So it doesn't really matter which one we go to, but again, we're looking at monthly direct debit plan features. We don't want direct debit. We want paper billing. So you can put filter on, dual flu, pay on receipt of bill, show results. It's now £106. Look at that. It's £106 a year, that one.
That's a British Gas, yeah.
It's cheap as chips. We'll have that.
But that's who I'm with at the minute, right? British Gas.
Yeah, so we're swapping the name, aren't we?
Oh God, what's up? Yeah.
How long have you lived at this address? No years. Not you, Minister O'Mahony now, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 months. Have you lived in the UK for at least 3 years? Yes. Do you have a smart meter?
they put one in slyly, you know that, and I'm
We're going to have that removed then.
Yeah, I know, because I've got this problem with the EMS anyway, and they've done it slyly on it without letting me know.
Have you got the gas meter reference number?
Yeah, does that work be on the gas meter itself?
Yeah, or on your, it might be on your bill. It appears on your gas bill.
One second, let me just try and find it.
They added all of these boxes to it while I was in the, it was me, Minister and Ben, was doing this manually for everybody in the country by just randomly taking addresses, and we'd done a fair few hundred of them, and I was on there for 4 hours, and then I stopped to have a break, and when I went back in after 20-30 minutes, it actually added all of this criteria to the actual website. So that obviously we had to speak to the individual to be able to give us the information. It stopped us because we just switched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of addresses over to Minister at that address. And obviously they saw what was going on and decided to add these extra criteria, such as have you got a smart meter? If you haven't, we don't know then at that point whether you've got a smart meter or not. We don't know what your MPRN is without ringing that number.
Okay.
Which we can find out. Have you got it?
No, I'll tell you what I have got. I've got the customer reference number, but if I can take a picture of it.
No, we need that. We need the MPRN number.
Would that be on the meter itself?
It says it appears on your gas bill, but it could be called PMRN or M number or meter reference number.
One second.
Or we can just call them.
Thanks for calling USwitch. To put you through to the right team of experts, we've got a few options for you. If you would like to switch and save on your energy, please press 1. If you want to talk about broadband, home phone or TV, please press. Welcome to USwitch. If you would like to switch and save today, please press 1. For anything.
Good morning. Welcome to USwitch. You're speaking to Morris. How can I help?
Oh, hello. I'm on your website and I'm trying to do it myself regarding switching the current supply. The current supply is already with British Gas, I'm aware of. And I'm going to change it to a different tariff, but I've also only just moved in at that address as well. So I've got to the point where I'm looking for the gas meter reference number. I've looked at an old bill that was left here. It's not on there, and it says to call you.
Okay. Well, what we can do is run through a few details, make sure it goes through, no problem. So just as a reminder, just to let you know whether you're looking for a particular tariff or to save a little cash, can help you get more of what you want when you switch.
I don't need this. I really don't need this spiel. Okay, I just want to switch. I'm already with the supply is already with British Gas. I've chosen the tariff, which is what I want, and I've already gone through that procedure. All I want to know is, can you give me the MPRN number for the supply of my gas at the address, because your website won't let me go any further.
Right. I mean, you have come through the switch line. Would you like me to find that number and change everything over for you?
Can you? Well, I don't really want to repeat myself many times and do it. Can you just give me the MPRN number?
Well, to be honest, you need to answer my question first, because this is a switching line and there's a process I need to follow to get up that point. I'll find that number, then I can change everything over for you.
I don't need you to do that. I can do that myself. I just want the MPRN number, which is why I'm calling you.
I think, to be honest, in that case, you've rang the wrong number.
Well, that's the number that it says. When you go on the website, it says, how do you find your MPRN number? You click that and it says that it's on your bill. It's not on the bill. So it says, still stuck, call this number, which is what I've called.
That's right. And we run a comparison and then we change everything over for yourself.
Right, let's go through that again then. So I would like the Green Future October 2023 British Gas Plan.
Okay, well, like I said, I just need to run through some details with yourself, first of all. Okay, so I'll just let you know we record all calls for training and monitoring purposes, and our website is accredited by the industry regulator Ofgem. You can get more information how we use data and respective privacy at uswitch.com.
And I'm Minister Emma Venn, and I'm your secured party creditor, and I reserve all of my rights while we conduct this call.
Okay, before I start, can I confirm I'm speaking to the bill payer or decision maker in the household?
You're speaking to the liability holder at that address, yes.
Right. And what's your first name, please?
Minister, Minister, and then Emma Venn,
Okay,
Echo, E for Echo, M for Madrid, O for Oscar, V for Victor, E for Echo, N for November.
and what's your title, please?
Minister.
Right, I don't have any, actually have minister. I've got Mrs., Miss, or Miss.
Yeah, I
One of those coming?
No, none of those are applicable. To get through your website, I did click MS because it's the closest thing to minister that I could see.
Okay, so are you happy for me to base it on that way as well?
You can put whatever you like in there, love.
Right, okay. And what's the postcode of the property?
It's N for November.
And what's the first line of the address?
It's flat D, 34 Dartmouth Park Hill, London.
Right, okay. I'm just going to check, see if there's any way I can find that number. Sorry, which number did you say it was asking for?
It's the MPRN number for the gas.
The gas. Okay. I'm just going to check a couple of things. You okay to hold a moment?
No problem. Now, at this point, obviously, he isn't able to give us what it is that he's just wasted our time for, another useless idiot. And we have got the assignment done. They've been duly noted, and the meters are now going to be changed to free energy supply kindness credits meters by Universal Law Community Trust engineers. This is him giving us a telephone number that doesn't actually work. It's not the National Grid number. So I'm just going to save us some time here because this bit is just laboriously boring because it's an empty portal. Nobody, this is what they're holding your supply to ransom, and obviously these companies don't want to hand it over. Do you want to go outside and have a look on the gas meter?
Do you know what I've done? Took some pictures. So the gas I've got on this one here is the gas one. It's got a number 2470766S.
Tell me again. 2470.
2470766S. It's got on there. I don't know if this S is separated from it.
No,
Maybe
it's
get rid of the S.
where it was called M number or meter reference, and it's 6 to 10 digits.
I can get rid of the S.
Pardon?
Get rid of the S because the S is separate. So it's 247.
It needs to start with M.
Hello there. Thanks for your patience.
Hello.
Hello there. Right. Unfortunately, it doesn't like we're going to be able to find that number because the only way we could find that number on our system would be if we've done a previous switch at that property, which it doesn't like we have. If you do contact the National Grid, though, they would be able to give you that number because they'd be able to check off your address.
Is it not on the meter itself? Not supposed to be on the meter?
It's not on the meter itself.
Do you want to give me the telephone number of the National Grid then?
The National Grid, yeah. I can give you a contact number for them.
That's great, thank you.
So the number will be 0113
Yeah.
290
Yeah.
8000.
That's great. Thank you very much for your help and have a lovely day.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
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 I really can't stand having to do the same thing twice. It really drives me mad. But anyway, here we are. This is what they did. Obviously, they're asking you for something that is very difficult to obtain. 290 8000 011. And so, actually, this is quite poignant. What the National Grid, this is called in Greek Katholiki supply. Katholiki means universal. So we're now going to the universal supply, where all your shares of this electricity and gas is held. And what you're going to actually do is you're going to assign it to a supplier, and then we're going to assign that to Universal or Community Trust Free Energy Suppliers, and then we are going to come and change your meters for you. But if you just called them up and said, "Hi, British Gas, I've changed my name to Mr. and Van," then obviously they're not going to do that. So what you're doing is you're creating a new account, and then you're assigning the liability to Minister and Van. Minister and Van can't be used in litigation thanks to Justice Stein's determination that you can't use it to lay claims with on the 10th of June at Queen's Bench. Can you go outside and have a look at the meter and see if there's a number on it? Can you do that, Minister Amavan?
I'm trying to get onto my British Gas account and see if that comes up as anything.
It should be on the meter.
All right, let's have a look.
Should be actually stamped on the gas meter itself.
All it is that number I gave you.
All it is that one.
That number, yeah, the 247.
it says here the number doesn't contain any letters, and it should also be stamped on the actual meter itself. But then they're asking for a serial number that has got M on it. So
I wonder if it's because it's got number. It's got NO, like NO, and then it's got 2470766.
2470766. So 2, 4, 6 is 7 numbers. No, we need that because that's what they're holding it to ransom with. So do you want to give the supplier a call now for the very last time as the legal fiction that bill at that address?
What I'm going to do now, should I just try and get on?
Actually, just give me the British Gas telephone number that you've got on the bill.
Okay.
And I'll do this now.
Right, so are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, so the number I've got is there's one number here is 0333 202 9802. But that's saying if you're struggling to pay your bill. Is that going to be all right, that one?
No, we can call them. They're more likely to answer this if you really pay them.
Hello, welcome to British Gas. British Gas Trading Limited is an appointed representative of British Gas Services Limited, which is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority for its insurance activities.
Really?
Calls are recorded for training and quality purposes. Please choose from one of the following options. To discuss your gas or electricity account, press 1. If you have a question about heating or home care, press 2. Or if you wish to become a new British Gas customer, press 3. We look forward to welcoming you as a British Gas customer. To have a new meter installed, press 1. To join us for gas and electricity, press 2. For heating, electrical, plumbing and drains cover or repairs, press 3. If you have a prepayment meter, also known as a pay-as-you-go or a top-up meter, please press 1. If not, press 2, or if you're not sure. Looking for a new energy tariff? Visit us online so you don't have to wait on hold. At busy times, it could take us up to half an hour to answer. If you're calling about a tariff you've seen on a price comparison website, please contact the seller directly. If you'd like to give us your mobile number so we can send you a link to our online tariffs, say yes now. Otherwise, say no.
No.
There's a delay of about 10 minutes. We'll put you through to one of our team as soon as we can. Alternatively, you can check your balance, make a bill payment, or give us a meter reading by going to britishgas.co.uk, or please continue to hold.
I'm not investing my energy in that. You can call them. That's the number that you need to get. Once you've got that number, if you send me that over, we can complete this part of it. Can you hear me? Hello. Are you there? Or have you gone outside to have a look? Hello? Are you there, Minster and Ben? Can you hear me? This is just, you can see.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm sorry. I couldn't find you there. Sorry. Yeah, I've gone onto 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 the British Gas,
Yeah.
and I can't even find it on their website.
No, and this is obstruction. They're asking you for information that is not freely available, and then obviously you have to pay on the phone with your credit to be on hold to speak to somebody. And this is, this is the administrative system in full throttle, persecuting everybody for profit after causing them liabilities by not disclosing the information back to them. If you can call the National Grid, we got the number there?
Yeah.
We'll give them another ring. Did you write the number down?
Or the British Gas?
We've got National Grid was 0132 number. I think he's giving me the wrong number. The number there. He's giving me the wrong number. You see that?
Look at it, no?
Yeah, he's giving me a Leeds number there. Look, that's the number that he gave me. I went to put it in. People who are really officious, it's like, just give me the info. I've done the job for you. I've already invested my time and done your job for you, and now you want me to assign the consent for you to do it again.
Thank you for calling the Consumer Inquiry Service. Please be advised that this call will cost 7 pence per minute plus your standard network.
So you can jog on. I'm not crediting this. This slavery system.
So do you want me to, should I phone them up now and get it off them? So what number did you want again? What number was it? The
MPRN number.
MPRN number. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can ring up British Gas. They'll have it there. They have it on their system, won't they?
Well, they should have it. And the reason why these companies are keeping it because they don't want you to switch suppliers. So here you've got one part of the administrative system saying you need a number in order for us to switch suppliers, and the company that have got that NPRN number should have put it either on the meter, but because that is the supply, that actual meter there, the supply for that gas meter, and doesn't only changes if they change the meter.
Right. Okay.
So the problem then is if somebody's coming had the meter changed, the gas is actually still coming from the same source, which is your new universal supply, but somebody else come in there and trespassed on it with their own identification number on their own meter. And that's why none of this adds up at all in the end. So what other solution is there? We've already notified you. We can notify them in writing that the account holder's details, I'm now the liability holder at that address, Minister MFN. Gone on your website. In fact, if you get me an email address for customer services for British Gas, I'll put an email together, put them on notice. And at the same time, so they've been noticed by email that the liability holder of the supply has been changed on this day that we send that to them. And then we can just organise for you to have your meters changed and new meters put in by the free energy suppliers. So I'm going to put you through together with them.
Okay.
And one of the events is responsible for that. And what we said, you buy your meters, you can get them very cheap for you as well, and he will switch them for you. So we've got gas and electric meter change. NW 5 1HN. And is it okay if I give him your telephone number?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then the address 34D. What was it, Derby?
Dartmouth.
Pardon?